Hello, welcome to my channel. This is Mariam. In today's episode, I am going to show you how to make your own homemade coconut oil. This is purely virgin coconut oil and I made it myself. So if you want to know how I made it, please stay tuned and let's get started. I'll be using 4 coconut fruits and it all depends on the quantity you want. I don't want much, that is why I'll be using only 4. I bought my coconut fruit yesterday and there wasn't any cracks on it, but when I woke up this morning I realized that there's cracks all over my fruits. And the trick is that if you don't want this to happen to you, then you have to keep your coconut wet, either by storing it in water or sprinkle water on it. By keeping it wet will prevent it from cracking. In fact, I didn't know this simple trick until today. So that's it. But I think this one is intact. When I shake it, I can feel the juice inside. So just going ahead to crack it gently so that I get access to my coconut juice. I love coconut juice. I am a big fan of coconut juice. So anytime I go to market to buy coconut fruits, I make sure I shake it to be sure there's juice inside. So this is what I had from 1 coconut fruit, but I can feel something small in here, so I'm just going ahead to trace that crack line and then get that juice out. So that is all I had. Again, that is all. So this is what I had from 2 coconut fruits. You can see there's already oil inside my juice, but I will drink this, so you are all invited. My coconut isn't that big in size. Maturity sometimes is not about size, but you can tell the coconut is actually matured. So I'm just going ahead to remove the fruit from the hard shell. Voila, this is my coconut fruit. It's freshly washed. I actually washed this 3 times and I use clean water. The oil is edible, so anything you use, make sure that it's clean so that you don't end up by contaminating your oil. Okay, to those who wish to blend their coconut fruit, you have to dice your fruit into smaller pieces like this and then blend. But we are not going to use blender. I'm just dicing it to show those who wish to use blender. So this is what I am going to use today. I am going to use the grater and I'll be using the tiniest hot side. I think that's the best option here. So if you have something like this, you can go ahead and use it. Okay, just feel free to use whatever that you have. So now let's start grating something. Please be careful when you are grating so they don't end up by grating your own fingers. We don't want that to happen, and I know you don't want that either. So be very careful. Grating is a little bit time consuming, so if you have blender, just go ahead and use it. But I'm actually doing this to show people who don't have blender that they can also make their own coconut oil. That is why I am using grater today. Voila, my coconut fruit is nicely grated, and I'm going in with my lukewarm water. This is 1 liter. You can also use water at room temperature, but I don't want to use that statement because somebody's water at room temperature is another person's water from the refrigerator. So the best thing is that just use lukewarm water, okay? By using slightly warm water, you get more oil. So I'm going into 1 liter of lukewarm water. Now then mash and squeeze, and by doing this you get more milk from the chaff, okay? So that's it. You mash and squeeze. So I think the water wasn't enough, so I'm going with a little bit more. Just like that, mash and squeeze, mash and then squeeze. So I'm going to squeeze out some of the chaff to make it easy to strain. That's it. I've almost taken all the chaff out, so I'm just going ahead to strain this. Oh, something happened and I couldn't capture the straining part, but don't worry, this is the residue, the chaff I had from the straining. So if you're using blender at this point, just go ahead and give it a second blend. But because we are not using blender, so we just mash and squeeze like that motion. Yeah, you mash and squeeze and add a little bit more water and then strain. With the same lukewarm water, okay? Don't use cold water, just slightly warm water, it's okay. So you then mash and squeeze. The water is not enough, so I'm going ahead to add more. So that's it. I'm going ahead to squeeze out some of the chaff to make it easy to strain. Well, that's it. So simple. So just going ahead to squeeze out the chaff to get more milk. You can see some brown things in my container. It's not dirt or sand, it's actually the brown skin of the coconut fruits, okay? So let me put this one aside. Oh, the aroma here. I feel like putting rice on fire, but no, I can't deceive you guys. I have to end what I've started, okay? So I'm just going ahead to give my milk a final strain. So I'm going ahead with this cheesecloth. So if you have something like this, you can use it. If you don't have it and all you have is your strainer, just go ahead and use the strainer to give your milk a final strain. So I have a cheesecloth, so that is what I am using. So that's it. So simple. So this is my final filtrate. So I'm going to transfer into this bowl. So I just go ahead and transfer my milk into this bowl because that bowl has a fitting lid. That is why I am transferring it into that bowl. So finally, this is my coconut milk. So I'll just go ahead and cover it and then leave it to rest for at least 24 hours. And we should be expecting some kind of fermentation to happen. So if you see that, don't worry, you are actually on the right path. So let's leave our milk to rest in peace. It's 24 hours already, and now let's open up and see how far our milk is doing. Oh my gosh, can you see that? That breaks line is actually the oil. This is what I am looking for. So I think the 24 hours is okay. I will not continue again, but you can also leave yours for maybe 24 hours or something like that, but I think the 24 hours is okay for me. So just go ahead and collect some of the oil into this small container. The oil is too much, so I'll just collect some and then heat the remaining. I think my water was too much, yeah, but it's okay, it's not too bad. So I don't have any use for this water, so I'll discard it. So this is my cream, is a combination of curd, oil, and maybe some amount of water, and that would evaporate when I put it on fire. And this is the oil I have so far, but I'll get more and add it. So let's start heating. Now my mixture is on fire, and you can see some oil already forming. You can see that. So I'll just go ahead and then stir my mixture. I actually started it with low heat, and I believe I'm going to end with the same low heat, so you can see oil. Yes, I don't know, coconut has its unique flavor. Anytime you are doing something that call for coconut, any dish that call for coconut, it gives it this unique taste and flavor. I don't know, but I love coconut scent. I see a bunch of tutorials on YouTube. I see people peeling off the brown skin of the coconut fruits just because they want their oil to look plain, like something like water. But it doesn't make sense to me because that brown skin has some amount of oil in there. So there's no need for peeling that brown skin out. The whole secret is that if you want your coconut to look plain, like something like water, then do allow that curd, the chaff in the pan you are seeing, that white thing to burn. Because when it burns, it's going to change the color of your oil. So if you don't want that to happen to you, keep stirring and also leave your fire on low heat. When you are good to go, you get the color that you desire for. So there's no need of wasting your time peeling that brown skin out. It doesn't make sense, okay? If you're doing something like ice cream or you're making like coconut rice and you peel off that brown skin, it's okay because maybe you want your ice cream to look purely white. I understand, but when it comes to coconut oil, it's wrong to peel that brown skin out, okay? So don't do that. coconut oil belongs to the class of saturated fats. That is why I will not recommend it as your everyday cooking oil. When we say a fat or oil is saturated, please do research on it and thank me later. And coconut belongs to that class. Okay, you can see some white particles in my oil, but don't worry, it will settle down within some few minutes. You will see. So I think I've almost taken all my oil. No, there's a little bit more. So now I think I'm almost done. So at this point I can turn off my heat. Okay, so this is my oil and I'm going to transfer it into this glass container. And this is the remain I had from heating. It has some amount of oil in there, and I will squeeze that out later. So now I'm going to transfer my oil into this glass container. I'll just pour everything in, including the white particles you see, everything inside the container, everything. And I'm going ahead to use the cheese bag. So if you have something like this, you can use it. Even if you don't have it and you have your strainer, you can use that one too, and then strain this. It's the oil we need, not the chaff. So we will take out the chaff and delete the oil. So we are going to strain that with the cheese bag. So done. Just go ahead and then transfer everything into this container. You can still see some white particle. It will all settle down within some few minutes. You will see. Voila, this is the final look of my coconut oil. All the particles have settled down, and this is the end product of my tutorial. Besides this being a saturated fat, it has a lot of benefits. It helps to reduce hair breakages, it moisturizes the skin, you can use it to remove makeups, for oral hygiene, just name it, a whole lot of benefit. So guys, if you do enjoy this video, please subscribe and give your girl a thumbs up, and don't forget to leave your comment at the comment section below. Thank you for watching this video once again. See you on my next video. Much love.